Hello there, MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. Now, I see your comments. I know a lot of you, more so than I thought really, miss my Brazilian flag and just my background in general. You know, I got my boy Poopy Buffo and Mogwai in the back, but the rest is kind of like I lived in an empty fridge, really. So, yeah, bear with it. I'm going to start trying to decorate the background and make it look a little bit better. Give it some life, basically. And yeah, I will argue with Sherman regarding the Brazilian flag. We'll see if we can make that happen. Regardless, welcome to another fake Brazilian card game video, as today we're going to showcase a pretty spicy deck. This is another concept that was actually given to me by Impetuous Panda, and I'm actually going to finally showcase concurrent timelines. Now, this is a card that's a bit controversial for me, or I'm controversial when it comes to this card. I think it's the best way to talk about it, because I've been very vocal against concurrent timelines and the one-turn kill combo with Commander Ladros from Shadow Isles. In case you do not know, concurrent timelines, which is this card right here, which was introduced in the new expansion, 1-mana slow speed spell, which hints at Echo coming to the game, which is incredibly exciting because he's actually one of my favorite champions from the League of Legends lore that I have actually not played in Runeterra because he doesn't exist yet, right? So that's already like really cool. And yeah, this is a card that is a very unique design as well. Initially, like I didn't know what to think of this design first, because at the beginning, like before we actually got to try this card, it was hard to theory craft around it. It was hard to envision just how efficient it would be. But something that people realized like very early on, and the developers had this in mind, was the combination of concurrent timelines with Commander Ladros in what is totally a non-toxic sort of synergy going on, right? Like people call this a combo, and it's not a combo. Like, I'm sorry, playing a 1-mana spell and then playing your 9-drop on turn 9, that's not a combo. That is just playing two cards that are just very easy to, you know, play between one another, right? Like, there's no rewarding synergy going on there. And the fact that that leads to a potential, a 60% chance of a setup that will one-shot the opponent by turn 9 unless they happen to have the specific counter at the right moment, I don't think it's healthy for the game. So I've been very, vocal about concurrent timelines. I think it's just unhealthy. I don't think it's overpowered. I did believe it was a little bit more toxic than it really is. Like I have jumped the gun a bit. I have gotten biased around this card because I really don't feel like Legends of Runeterra needs a design like this, right? Just because of the combination with Commander Ladros, because everything else about the card is actually really cool. And I have voiced some concerns in the past, but I was incorrect with them. You know, like I'm wrong many times, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And yeah, concurrent timelines is actually, outside of that, a very fun design that I'm going to showcase in this deck right here, because there's a lot of really, wacky synergies going on here, and I'm going to see if I can explain them properly. So, for those of you who don't know, concurrent timelines, for the rest of the game, the first time you play a follower each round, it's kind of like if you're invoking, right? You're presented 3 different options of followers, and your your follower will convert into a follower within the list that you got of the same cost. So we have a deck that is combining both Ezreal and Trundle in what is a Piltover and Zon Freljord sort of control archetype. Now, Ezreal and Trundle don't really tend to go together, but the thing is, with concurrent timelines, we can get some extra value, aka better stats, out of units that allow us to slow down or interact better with the opponent's board while also working for Ezreal's level up. I'm talking about Iceville Archer. I'm talking about a Verusent Marksman. A card, a 3-drop that a lot of you probably forgot existed. He helps us promote or level up Ezreal by targeting an enemy and dealing 1 to it, and then I can convert him into a 3/3, a 3/4, or there are some like really strong 3-drops that I can potentially pull, and that makes these sorts of plays just really. That's when we're tipping the scale in our favor, right? Like we are playing ahead of the curve in that regard, but we do need concurrent timelines by turn 1, and we're not always gonna find it, you know, like today's gameplay you're gonna see there are scenarios in which we take a while before we draw it. Something that's important though is that once you play concurrent timelines, the card is kind of useless. Not really, because if you level up Ezreal, you can still deal 1 damage to the opposing Nexus with Ezreal on the board. But besides that, the card is absolutely useless, which is why we're running a couple of copies of Rummage to, you know, cycle through our deck and get the right draws in late game, and also work around with Chump Wump and the Mushroom Clouds. We can play Chump Wump, transform him into an actual 4-drop, not a 4-mana 4/3. That gives us Mushroom Clouds, so we get an actual 4-drop, and we have fuel for Rummage. Speaking of other cards that synergize really well with concurrent timelines, we're playing Submersible, because we don't need to meet the requirement for this Submarine Cat right here. We actually just need to play him after concurrent timelines, have it be the first follow we play that turn, naturally, and we'll have a 5-drop that will transform into something else, but still draw us a card. So we can play Submersible and get like a really, really good 5-mana card, like Inspiring Marshal, for example, right? Like a 4/6, but also we draw a card on top of that, which is really powerful. Because of this deck's nature, we actually can potentially meet the requirement in the mid to late game for Submersible, so we get the +4 power boost on top of that. In case you don't know, when you transform Submersible into something else, if you did meet its requirement and you get that power boost, the power boost will be translated over to whatever it is you transformed into, which, you know, can lead to something like a 9/5 Jack the Winner, amongst many other things, which is really, really cool. This was an idea by Impetuous Panda, and I think it's pretty brilliant. But the main thing that we're trying to transform here is the interdimensional Ice Pillars, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing Trundle because of Ice Pillars, not so much because of Trundle himself, even though leveled up Trundle helps out quite a bit, you know, finish off the game. But the idea is we get to play Ice Pillars and basically transform them into an actual real 8-drop that happens to be for free. We can play Ice Pillar, refill our mana, and transform into a Leviathan, for example, which really helps us out in the late game alongside Ezreal, as we can slowly but surely burn the opponent's Nexus. We also have a couple of copies of Karina Varaza. There's like a 60% chance, I believe, to transform into Dreadway, which is just absolutely absurd. And we do have a very high spell density in this deck. Not as high as other decks, but high enough to justify a couple of copies of Karina. Even though I do tend to low roll her a lot. But, you know, that's just me and my luck. Regardless, we have a bunch of Frostbites in conjunction with damage-based spells from Piltover. So damage and Frostbites in conjunction is a very legit reason to combine these two regions in a control archetype, as we have Harsh Winds and Static Shock, which can help us level up Ezreal a little bit faster. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the deck list right there. Very, very fun to play. I've been optimizing it quite a bit. Like, I've been playing with this deck for quite some time, and I finally, you know, optimized it to a point where I think it's ready to be shared. And hopefully you guys enjoy the games that I got for you today, because honestly, they're pretty dope. So that's basically where I'll leave it at. Have a swell day. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. The Brazilian flag may return soon, though I promise nothing. I do promise regular uploads and new decks every day. So yeah, have a good one. Enjoy. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Recording, right? Because I've had 2 instances. This music's so fire, by the way. I'm gonna go for a full volume. Just because nothing that I drew there was absolutely essential. And I do want to find concurrent timelines to be able to play on curve. And now the fun starts. So, like I was saying, I've had like 2 instances now in like the past month in which I forgot to click record. So it still happens.
You can see the Demastian border from here.
Cool server. We do have the Chump Wump to enable the Rummage, which is really neat. We don't have any like early plays though. Not like it matters, it seems. Alright, let's see what we get. That's a high roll, son. Oh my goodness. I can just rummage away whatever I draw there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right?
Surprise, surprise.
Ready the torches. Alert the villain. This is gonna be fun.
Do not embarrass me, troll.
King of trolls coming through.
A lackwit with a stolen crown does not a king need.
I'll knock him dead. There it is.
I'm gonna get the Mage Seeker Investigator. We're getting some amazing pulls here, man. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just don't have enough to attack, or to justifiably attack with her. I do want to kill Trundle though, but I probably should focus more on killing Lysandra. I'm not gonna quite attack here. We have run into a problem of
King of trolls coming through.
King of nothing without my aid.
best friends. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm like struggling so much to not like overdraw. This is kind of crazy.
I'm gonna make a U-sickle. You're in my kingdom now.
And now we play Ice Pillar into Leviathan, baby. This is where the magic happens. Man, the game one, like I really showcased like how this deck, like I'm really highlighting all the synergies here. I do need to try to focus on taking down Lysandra before. The moment he does anything, I will Mystic Shot this. I need to prevent the level up though.
Battle station!
Seek and silence.
Bow to your king!
Put an end to magic.
Come on, come on! Get ready for a beatdown!
The reason why I went for the Mystic Shot here is to create some space to draw with the Brash Gambler.
Embrace the cold. I will remind the world of true power. You will do as I command.
that's the synergy with Submersible. I get to draw a card and convert to whatever I want. Okay, so I have a plan here.
Time for a true display of skill.
I'm gonna get another Leviathan. I value the Leviathan more than Captain Farron because the difference between the two is Captain Farron is dealing all the damage directly with his attack, right? But I'm facing a region that has access to frostbites. It's important for me to keep Ezreal alive.
King and stuff, but could you maybe speed things up? I'm still like a yodeling uniform.
So in response to this, I'm gonna Mystic Shot the Ice Pillar because I want to drag it with Leviathan. This Ice Pillar is gonna be at 2 health, so I can do this.
Dangerous. I'm in.
I can do this. And as my opponent tries to go for some sort of removal, I go for the Trojan.
Charge! I'm so good, I surprised myself.
The Watcher's down. I repeat, the Watcher's down. I'll play concurrent timelines. Just to get some value of it, you know? The second one. Yeah, we're not gonna. I forgot about Leviathan.
I knew we had it all along.
Me too. Me too, easy my boy. Me too. So, good start. Very happy with how I played that one. Also, extremely happy with just the showcase in general because I basically, like, the only thing that I didn't show in that game was Karina, right? Like everything else, and Static Shock, I guess, but everything else was just like did something, you know? That was one of the best like game ones I've had for a session in like a really long time. But yeah, you guys see what the deck is about, and yeah, I was partially wrong about concurrent timelines. I think I overreacted a little bit against it just because of how toxic it is around late draws. But in a deck like this, man, the design is really neat. So I'll definitely take the L on that because I let the Ladros hate of the card carry. I probably will have gone over this in the deck tech anyway, so no reason to dwell too much into it. But yeah, sometimes we're wrong, and it's important to admit that. So yeah, round 2. Cirilla. Who's playing Aggro Azir? Now, I'm gonna draw Flash Freeze and Harsh Winds. Frostbites in general can be pretty good here, but I'm gonna value Iceville Archer and Static Shock because they actually, you know, and I want stuff like Brittle Steel, right? I want tempo. I'm not gonna interact with this because this just dies to Static Shock. It's extremely likely that I will be carrying over the spell mana here. Yeah. Best case scenario, my opponent leads off with an open attack.
Shurima never fell. It only awaited my return.
Locked and ready.
Greater things await!
Our protectability.
Just like that. Just like that. The timing, man. The timing. Yeah, that was a pretty good turn of events for us. I'm surprised he attacked with his ear anyways. He thought he was like, okay, he wants to block because I'm gonna get my damage regardless, but we denied every ounce of damage that turn. And sometimes that's all you need to just make aggro players cry and shy away. Alright, let's go for another one. Zap TV is playing some scouts. And he's played them quite a bit. As much as I like Karina, it's a little bit too early for her. The rest of his hand is fantastic. I'm not devastated. Like, you know, I wasn't like super unhappy with seeing her in my opening hand. Like, I had to mulligan her away because I have to try to get something, you know, a little bit earlier. Of early use, English. But, like I said, I'm not displeased because I know that if I manage to survive... Uh-oh. Is he... Just show me that Bryce Steel Protector. You know you want to. Because, my lord, I'll zap that so fast. I'm dying to play these Iceville Archers that will turn into something that's not a 3-1. You know, it's just fantastic.
Success gets noticed around here.
Winter take you.
I'm gonna play the Grenadier. That one damage could actually matter in the long run. Considering we're an Ezreal deck, we are technically a slow burn deck, right? So I'm gonna value that over a bit more resilience with the Lunaria Shadestalker. Just because, I mean, if he actually sacrifices his tracker for the sake of damage, I would love that. That would be very short-sighted. I like the idea of this, the thermogenic beam. One less attack, but the ability to give me lifesteal instead. I don't need lifesteal at this stage. I gotta.
Not and ready.
I gotta value attack more. The idea is I want to apply some pressure here.
Looking for trouble.
Yeah, because I'm expecting misfortune, so I can do this, and I can remove the tracker. I have 2 units that trade into misfortune. Yeah, it was so important for me to go for the Closet Dragon there. And now we can attack. Which allows us to push in some nice damage, but it's still early, man. And we are running a little bit out of gas. We've got some good reactive potential here, but unless we draw into Chump Wump, this Rummage is not really a good top deck considering we have the Karina here. We have 2 relatively useless cards as of now. Well, if he's crying, we're super happy with it. We embrace in our opponent's suffering.
Go down, will you?
Don't stand in my way.
Sure about that?
I want to go for the Closet Dragon. I want to go for the Static Shock to level up. Did I say Closet Dragon? Ooh.
You're cute when you're on. Firepower's always in style.
Hear that?
I'm gonna play this, convert into Senna. Senna can allow me to try to push for more damage here. Man, what if he has a sharp sight? I mean, I gotta apply some pressure.
Talking. Grasping claws.
Sharp sight really, really halts this. What a mess. Static Shock. I may have to use Rummage on Karina here. Like I said, it's She's game winning, but I have to make it to that point of the match, and that's not easy, especially considering like this hand is very weak right now. If I can draw into something like a chump wump, I may be able to buy some time, generate a unit, convert it to something more useful, utilize the puff caps to cycle through my deck. Yeah, definitely have to. I don't want to get rid of both Karinas though. I definitely do not. Ah man, this is tough. These are tough draws.
I gotta show you the sights of Bilgewater. The sights are fine. The smells on
I have to drop these two. Okay.
I got ways to find in mastery.
I'm gonna go with the Shuriken Spinner. The Shuriken Spinner has a more resilient health stat.
Spring does not pity winter. Love ya. Valor! You point, I shoot.
Relentless Pursuit also hits us very hard.
Don't stand in my way. Guns blazing.
Man, could Karina be a 7-drop? Like, I need a 7-drop, dude. I mean, this is technically up there. The problem is this misfortune is too strong. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, I could also...
The ocean charts our course.
I grabbed 10. Before he has... I mean, Relentless Pursuit kills us here, right?
Fortune favors the bold.
The ocean is no place for the weak.
Sends chills up my spine.
2, 4, 5. We frostbite here. 2, 4, 5. We block here. We frostbite here. 1 damage. Yeah, that's exactly so. GG. Good game. We fought well with honor, but we failed. Like I said, the back-to-back Karina. I think maybe I jinxed myself by saying that I showcased everything in the deck except for Karina, because now we have a game in which we draw too many Karinas, and we draw the rummages as well, and nothing to feed it. You know, sometimes it's gonna happen. Even though we got that nice concurrent timelines on curve, you know, that's definitely not enough. So yeah, this deck does have some consistency issues because of that. But oh well, I think for the most part, you know, most games don't go that badly. All right, round 4. Smooth Soloist. Let's see what you did there. No, I don't befriend those who defeat me. Let's drop the Brittle Steel. Let's drop the Rummage. Let's drop the Ice Field Archer. Skip the Ice Field. I could have mulliganed the Ezreal as well, but it's generally not a bad card to... Okay. Oh, I thought they were playing... Yeah, it's built over. It's not Shurima. I don't know why I thought it was Shurima. Well, we can't seem to find our concurrent timelines. It's gonna take us a while. We're gonna have to play like actual regular stuff. But the good news is we're not facing...
What will you have? There it is.
We're gonna play the Adrosive Marksman.
Can't afford to miss.
This allows us to trade with this if we want. We could go for a thermogenic beam, but I don't personally see the need now.
Just need a target.
I'm gonna open attack because this is not a trade that he's happy with in the slightest, right? So pushing 3 damage on this turn is actually pretty damn valuable. Yeah, no need to rush it. I mean, I eventually have to start really hunting for
Ice to meet.
Well, we're going for static shocks because we're working for the one thing that we have that our opponent doesn't in Ezreal. That's our win condition, basically.
Cold isn't the only danger.
But I'm king.
Don't blink, or you miss me.
Will no one listen? This'll take the chill off. Let's take this outside.
I want to play the Kindly Tavern Keeper first, just because he'll get the vulnerable instead of Ezreal. Okay.
King of trolls coming through.
I want to level up Trundle. I didn't find concurrent timelines this entire game. I don't want to play this until.
Check me out.
And of course they find everything on curve. And they get okay, I thought they got the thing.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
I'm gonna go double Mystic Shot.
Charge.
There we go. Fortunately, we would like concurrent timelines.
No sweat.
we go. Okay, I thought the bug was... I mean, he's leaving himself wide open. I could go Karina Veraza, but... I should go Karina Veraza always. Let's become degenerates. Doesn't seem to be laughing now. Oh, well, I am. What in the actual? Oh my god! I mean, I only needed to clear the elusive unit, right? But oh my god!
It's not bragging if you could back it up.
That's crazy.
Gotcha.
Got it. That's crazy.